Welcome to another edition of the Sunday Drive, everybody. The Sunday Drive is sponsored by Midtown Mattress in downtown Lindsay, but they have so much more than mattresses. They have home furnishings, they have decor, and they have recently started distributing Ashley furniture as well. So if you're looking for a nice piece for your home, head to our sponsor, Midtown Mattress in Lindsay. And today we are going to talk to my friend, Ruth Pillsworth. Ruth is an adventurous woman. She is an avid backcountry paddler and camper, and she is also a flat bottom canoe paddle instructor as well, right? So we're going to talk to her about her latest adventure. When I say adventure, I really mean adventure, and a whole lot more on this edition of the Sunday Drive. Okay, so now let's talk about your backcountry camping. Wow. The latest trip sounds pretty awesome, but you had to fly in. Tell me about that. Where did you go and how long was it and what did you see?
Okay. So we drove to 3 hours worth north of Thunder Bay to a small community called Armstrong Station, where our outfitter is, or was, or still is. And we stayed overnight with him, and then in the morning he flew us into a small lake called Rock Cliff Lake, and it was pretty amazing. We watched our canoe was strapped to his pontoon, and the pilot just took our canoe off, put it in the water, loaded all our gear. We climbed down the steps, my husband and I and our dog, and climbed into the canoe and paddled away, watched him fly away.
I just left you there in the middle of the wilderness.
Yeah.
So tell me about it. What did you see? And you obviously you had your canoes and your tents and all that. How do you prepare for something like that? There's no store. You can't. No. Can you even charge your phone? Like, what if you're in trouble?
We do have an InReach Garmin that we take, and it's got an SOS on it. So if we need any help, then when we can hit that, and someone will come and get us. And this trip in itself was 1.5 years in the making. Wow. Just chatting with the outfitter, trying to find a route that would suit our needs. As we get older, our things are changing. We don't want to portage a lot or really far, just because we are that much older. But we also want to we don't want to see anybody, so we want to be on the road. The river's less traveled. And we like rivers opposed to big lakes, just because there's not as much chance of getting stuck by wind and weather and lost. Yeah. So so we flew into this lake, and then we paddled off. And as soon as we got off the lake, we saw our first cow and calf moose run across the river. Absolutely beautiful. We were fussing to try and find our phone, and our cameras. It's like, forget it. Let's just watch this beautiful being go by.
Nice.
And that was day one. We were on the river so we went to Mishaps. We were on there for 100 kilometers, and then we went on to the Albany for 70. So the whole trip was about 175 kilometers. So we had to do 17 kilometers a day in order to, do it over the 10-day period. But because this is a river that wasn't as well traveled, out of 10 campsites, we found 4. The rest of them were so bushwhacked.
So what did you do? Where did you sleep?
So we made our own. One day we just had a riverbed, and it was a little soggy, but we just said, we got to stop. We've been paddling too long. We only got a couple hours of daylight left, so let's just make it work. It was very damp.
And you enjoy that?
Yeah, I do.
What is it that you like about it?
I don't know. It's just very simple. Life is very simple. All you have to do is get up, take down your tent, and have your breakfast and paddle. And the beauty of nature all around is spectacular. The big sky, the majestic animals, and the beaver and birds, and I don't know, just speak to me. Fills my soul.
How do you bring enough food for that, and how do you carry it? Because you're gone 10 days, you said, right?
Yes. So typically we start dehydrating food. Like we do apples and bananas and beef jerky, and so all of our sort of snacky stuff, berries and everything, we dehydrate. So it's all dehydrated food. Our lunches are not. We typically would have like peanut butter and jam on a wrap or something for lunch. Breakfast is oatmeal. We've had pancakes. We have a small Coleman stove that we use. Cook everything on there, boil water. We have a great water filter. We have filter all our water all the time. And dehydrate our food, and it's come a long way. Like honestly, these little foil bags that are this big, you fill it with 1.5 cups of water, and it's a delicious pad thai dinner.
Really? Kind of like the astronauts take, right? Yeah, it's similar.
Totally. Oh, very filling. Yeah. So they go in barrels. All our food goes in a barrel, and they're sealed tightly. And in all our years, we've never had any bear come into our campsite. We've seen bear. We've seen them swim across, and we would either bang our pots just to make sure they're gone. We carry bear spray, but they're so not used to human or food. They could care less.
Have you had any close calls with wild animals?
No.
Or falls or any?
One year with our family, we did have our canoe tipped a little bit, and we lost a barrel. We lost everything in the boat.
Oh my God.
And so we did lose a food barrel. And
what do you do when that happens?
So we had to then regroup.
The food barrel has the food.
Yes.
Yeah.
So actually it was our dinners that we lost. So we were eating, we just had to shift what we ate, but we also had to look at our trip and say, okay, we were going to do 100 kilometers in the next 5 days. So now we got to bump it up. We've only got enough food for 4 or 3 or whatever it was. So we had to paddle more, just to be able to get out. And then ironically that trip we did end up at a campsite where there was a bush camp. So, funny how things happen. Next thing you know, we hear this truck rumbling along. It's like, who the heck is here? Anyways, we were in Quebec then. And anyways, this gentleman came down. He was from a camp. And so we told him what had happened. And he said, you don't have enough food and you don't have enough time. You need to call your outfitter and you got to arrange for a different pickup. So that was a blessing. So yeah, we got off, we were able to do that, and he picked us up earlier. We didn't finish that river. But that was the only mishap.
Wow, lucky.
Yes.
And what's the furthest you've gone?
We went to the Yukon. We did the Heart River. It was a trip of a lifetime. The whole family went. My husband and I and 3 kids. It was fantastic.
How long was that?
That too was, that was 2 weeks.
Wow.
And then I did.
Did you see any other people during that 2 weeks?
No.
Nice.
No, we did not. Yeah, it was fantastic. It was through the mountains. The water was cold. That's the only difference with, Ontario. We can still swim in our lakes and waters, well, in this time of year, whereas when you're going northern Canada, the water's really cold. So there is all those extra elements of safety, because now you're in cold water.
True. Yeah.
And I did do the Elk River, which was in the Northwest Territories, for, again, 2 weeks. So those are the 2 for the most northern that I've done.
So what's next for you? Do you have another trip planned, or anywhere else that you would like to load up your canoe and head out to?
I do want to go back to the Yukon. There's still there's 2 rivers there that I'm looking at, but yeah, I spend my winters researching, and I'm always looking for new and different places to go. I've been paddling with a group of women for 25 years. This is our 25th year this year, and we started off, we were doing lots of rivers and whitewater back in the day when we were younger and healthier, and now we're older and maybe wiser. So we're doing not as many portages, and we're doing lakes, but yeah, so I like to spend my time looking for new places to paddle, and so I'm not sure where we're going next year, but I have my books out ready to go.